I know, whenever you play in the key of F or B flat, you feel like taking a capo and slapping it on the first or third fret. I'm here to tell you, though, that you're not cheating, nor is the capo a cheater bar. It's an amazing tool that can allow you to play guitar tones and textures that you would otherwise never be able to do. Let's get into it. I'd like to thank the sponsor of today's video, Sweetwater Sound, my favorite music instrument and gear retailer. They have great selection, great prices, and world-class customer service. Well, they were kind enough to send me 3 Kaiser Capos, which I'll be using during the workshop today. These Capos are industry standard. They're used by thousands of professionals worldwide. Thanks, Sweetwater, and thank you, Kaiser. So let's say you really do have to play in the dreaded key of F. It is a pain in the butt, isn't it? Yeah, it's much easier. And to my ear, it sounds nicer if we get a capo like this Kaiser electric guitar capo with a nice curved radius and place it on the 3rd fret. Now, when you're placing a capo, make sure that you get it as close to the fret as possible to avoid pulling the strings out of tune. Let's hear how in tune this Kaiser is. It's very nice. The Kaisers tend to stay in tune really, really well. Now I'm all set up. I can play in the key of F using D shape, G shape, and A shape chords. Chords that we normally play in the first position. You might be accused of being a cheater if you're using a capo and you say to other musicians, "Hey, I'm playing a D." No, you're not playing a D, you're playing an F. Or, "I'm playing a G." No, you're not playing a G, you're playing a B flat. Or, "I'm playing an A." You get the picture, that's really a C, right? So take a few minutes when you're using a capo in a position like this and actually learn what the chord names are. F, 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 right? It's all F. It is not D. Here's a D. Yeah, F. All right, so that's really, really important, in particular if you're playing with other musicians. And just like playing guitar without a capo, you can always add in effects. I've got a delay pedal that I've added in. Oh yes, and a volume pedal on the floor. Now I'm not done because I can kick in the distortion and play some distorted chords and leads. So I know what you're thinking. Bill, am I just going to use a capo on the 3rd fret to keep me out of that dreaded key of F? And the answer, of course, is no, there are many other uses. Let's move the capo up to the 5th fret, and let's see if we're still in tune. Oh yeah, sounds great. And let's see what we can get. So that A major shape, what is that? That's a D major, right? It's sounding out a perfect fourth higher than it would as if I were playing that shape in the first position. So how far up the neck can you go with a capo? How about the 10th fret? Let's see how we do here. Move it up to the 10th fret. Whoa, there we go. Let's see if we're still in tune. Oh yeah. Very, very good. So now we're playing almost an octave higher than if we didn't have the capo on at all. This gets us into like mandolin territory. That's kind of cool. And of course, you can still play a lead up there if you wish. You can even make guitar face. So another question that sometimes comes up is this. Do I have to put the capo on all 6 strings? And the answer is, you have to be a little careful, but no, you don't. You can put it on less than 6 strings. So I'm using a Kaiser acoustic guitar capo. It's a little bit wider, and I'm flipping it around and covering strings 5 through 1, leaving string 6 open. And now, when I play a D shape, I can play all 6 strings and get that drop D feel. Now, it's actually a drop E, because that is a low E. But, you know, if I put on some distortion, I can kind of get that ultimate power chord feel. Cool. Conversely, is it possible to cover strings 6 through 2 and leave string 1 open? Oh yeah, you can definitely do that. This is kind of nice if you want to incorporate that open E into some of your chord structures. So let me do some volume swells here. That's really nice. So, are there any other options for not covering all 6 strings? And the answer is yes, there are. Kaiser makes a capo. It's a little short thing. It's called a partial or cut capo, and it's designed to cover 3 of the inner strings. If I put the capo on the 2nd fret and cover strings 5, 4, and 3, I end up with what I like to call faux DADGAD tuning. Now, the thing you need to remember is we're not really playing in DADGAD. This is a low E. But it allows you to play those kinds of chord shapes, and it's really great for folk, for Celtic, and even some rock songs. Yeah, you know who that was. Anyhow, it also works really well. I use it a lot of times with the ever-present delay in my rig. So if you've followed this video thus far, you may have a standard Kaiser capo and you may have a Kaiser partial capo. Can you use them both together? Well, heck yeah, you certainly can. So let me go ahead and demonstrate by first put the standard Kaiser capo on the first fret, right? So now I'm going to be F bass. All right, so great. Now, if I take the cut capo and put it on that third fret across the fifth, fourth, and third strings, I now, instead of having my faux DADGAD sounding out as E, it sounds out as F. So you can use then the DADGAD shape pretty far up the neck, really, until the neck width and the string spacing doesn't really accommodate the cut capo. But that's pretty far up. Is that all we can do, though? DADGAD? No. We can do other things with two capos. We don't have to put the cut capo 2 frets above either the nut of the guitar or wherever we have the full capo set. Let's put it on fret number 5, which is 4 frets above the full capo. And let's check this out. Oh yes, now we're going to get some interesting chords. If I just play an A, what would be an A sus2? Becomes a D minor. We get that F in the bass and a D minor-ish feel. And this just begs for some delay. Just keeps getting better and better, doesn't it? I wonder what would happen if we slid the cut capo up a fret to fret number 6, which is 5 frets above the full capo. 5 fret spacing, all right? Let's try this. Okay, so this is a C sharp. All right, that's kind of where we're based, right? C sharp major if we're going to play in a major key. Now you do have to deal with an open B string, your second string. May end up with some weird sounding notes. That's actually kind of cool. But we're not done, because not only can we play cool chords up here, we can also play between the 2 capos. You heard me right. We can play between the 2 capos. Let me demonstrate. Watch this. Yes. Now, it takes a little coordination. You got to practice a little bit. And depending on the size of your hand, if you've got the capo here, it may be a little cramped. So, an alternate configuration for this would be to remove this capo, slide, let me just do it here, remove the capo, slide the cut capo down 1 fret to the 5th fret, and now let me give you one more suggestion, and that is to put the cut capo up on the 7th fret, leave the full capo off. And this is where, I gotta be honest, this is where with the Kaiser and other brands that I've used with cut capos, by the time you get up to the 7th fret, you've gotta be pretty careful to keep things in tune. Yeah, it's still pretty good though. All right, so what can we do with this? At the 7th fret, we've got the low E, which is open. And I can play behind the capo if I want. But that first capoed string, the 5th string on the 7th fret, that's another E. So we can get some really interesting chord shapes with E minor. Sound really good with a distorted tone. So thanks again to Sweetwater for sponsoring the video and sending me these awesome Kaiser capos. I hope this has given you some ideas about how you can leverage capos to enhance the music you play. If you're already using capos, drop a comment and let me know how you're using them and how they're making your music better. Are you curious about the hybrid picking technique you may have noticed me using on this video? I've got a tutorial right here if you're interested in learning more. I'll see you over there.